Hey little dreamers! Ready for a magical bedtime adventure? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a sleepy tale. Let's go! Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the stars always sparkled just a little brighter and the moon seemed to smile at you as you drifted to sleep, there was a prince named Pax. Now, Pax wasn't just any ordinary prince. He didn't need to worry about battles or treasure hunts like most princes. No, Prince Pax had a very special, very important job. He kept nightmares at bay. Each night, before the children of the kingdom tucked themselves into their beds, Pax would carry his treasured dream net, a magical net woven from shimmering threads that caught nightmares before they could reach any sleeping child. With this net, Pax would roam the kingdom, gently gathering up any bad dreams that might try to sneak past the walls of the sleeping homes. Once he had them safely captured, he would use his special powers to turn those nightmares into the sweetest, most delicious treats. Monsters that growled and lurked in the shadows. They turned into crunchy chocolate bites. Dark, swirling storm clouds that threatened to tear apart the peaceful night. They became fluffy cotton candy. And those dreams of lost toys that made children toss and turn. They turned into trails of colorful jelly beans, leading back to the safety of warm beds. As Pax walked through the kingdom, the night air would hum with the soft sound of his net catching the dreams. The children, resting soundly, never knew a thing about the bad dreams that had been caught and turned into delightful goodies just for them. And Pax, with a heart full of love for his people, could rest easy knowing he was keeping their nights as sweet as their days. Each night, Prince Pax's mission was the same, to catch every nightmare before it could reach the children of his kingdom. With his dream net in hand, he wandered through the streets, looking for any sign of trouble. The net, woven from threads of moonlight and starlight, was the perfect tool for this delicate job. Pax had learned long ago how to use it to capture the nastiest of nightmares and turn them into the sweetest treats. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the kingdom began to fall silent, Pax would step into the night, eyes scanning the skies and the streets for any sign of a bad dream. Monsters, storm clouds, and other terrifying visions would often try to sneak through the barriers of sleep. But Pax was always ready. When a nightmare appeared, usually in the form of dark, swirling clouds or a monstrous shape looming in the distance, he would spring into action. With a flick of his wrist, he would cast his dream net high into the air, watching as it swirled around the nightmare. The net glowed with a soft, golden light, shimmering with magic. Once the nightmare was caught, it couldn't escape. And that's when the real magic began. Monsters, the ones with fierce claws and roaring growls, would begin to shrink, their growls transforming into the satisfying snap of chocolate crunchies. The swirling storm clouds would dissipate, replaced by fluffy cotton candy, swirling around the sky in sweet pink and blue spirals. Even those nightmares of lost toys, which left children tossing and turning, would fade away, replaced by trails of bright jelly beans, leading the way to peaceful slumbers. The kingdom, as it slept, remained unaware of the work Pax did each night, but he knew. He knew that every child in the land slept soundly because of his efforts. It was as if he were the kingdom's secret protector, ensuring that nightmares never had a chance to ruin anyone's rest. Sometimes, when the night felt particularly calm, Pax would take a moment to admire the stars above him. They twinkled and shimmered, guiding his way like a map of the dream world. The stars, it seemed, were always there to help him find the bad dreams and catch them before they could reach the peaceful world below. Pax would smile at the thought, his heart light, knowing that tonight too would be a night free from nightmares. He couldn't wait to return to the castle at dawn, to rest until the next evening. But until then, his job was far from over. With a glance at the horizon and a soft sigh, He walked deeper into the kingdom, ready for whatever dreams the night might send his way. One evening, as Pax prepared for his nightly patrol, something unexpected happened. The dream net, which had served him so faithfully, began to act strangely. He had just finished transforming a particularly nasty nightmare, a monstrous creature with glowing eyes and sharp claws, into a pile of chocolate crunchies when he noticed a small tear in the net. At first, it was barely noticeable, just a faint tug at one of the shimmering threads. But Pax knew that any imperfection, no matter how small, could lead to a nightmare slipping through. He quickly inspected the net, tracing the tear with his fingers. It was delicate, almost as if it had been strained too much by the number of nightmares it had caught over the years. This wasn't just a simple snag. It was a real rip. Pax's heart sank. Without his net, the nightmares would be free to roam, causing trouble for the children of the kingdom. He couldn't allow that to happen. He tried to mend it himself, but the dream net was no ordinary fabric. It was magical, woven from the very threads of the stars themselves. The only way to truly repair it was with something more than just his own hands. He needed something special, something that would strengthen the net's magic and make it as good as new. Realizing he couldn't do it alone, Pax set out to find help. He knew there was a power far greater than his own that could fix the net, something from the hearts of the children themselves. After all, it was their sweet dreams that the net protected, and it made sense that they should play a part in its repair. As Pax ventured through the kingdom, he came across a group of children playing near the edge of the village. They were laughing, their faces lit up with joy, completely unaware of the crisis at hand. Pax smiled softly at the sight of them. These children were the very reason he did his work. He approached them, kneeling down to meet them at eye level. "I need your help," he said, his voice serious but gentle. The children's eyes widened in curiosity. "What's wrong, Prince Pax?" one of them asked. Pax glanced down at the dream net in his hands, showing them the small tear. "My dream net has been damaged," he explained. "It's the only way I can protect you from nightmares, and I need your help to fix it. Together, we can make it stronger than ever." The children, sensing the importance of the task, agreed without hesitation. They each understood in their own way the importance of protecting their dreams. Together, they would help Prince Pax repair the net and restore the magic that kept their nights safe. The first thing Pax needed was strength, something that could fortify the delicate threads of the dream net. "I need a teddy bear's hug," Pax explained. "A teddy bear's hug can give the net the strength it needs." The children immediately ran off to their homes, eager to find their most trusted stuffed animals. Within minutes, they returned with teddy bears in hand, each one holding its own unique charm. A red scarf, a tiny patch on the ear, or a button eye that had been lovingly repaired over the years. As each child hugged their bear tight, they pressed it gently to the tear in the net. The magic from their bears, full of love and warmth, seeped into the net, and the tear began to close slowly. The threads of the net strengthened, glowing brighter with each bear's hug. Next, Pax needed something more flexible, something that would allow the net to stretch and move as needed. "I need a baby's yawn," he said with a grin, his eyes twinkling. "A baby's yawn can make the net stretch like never before." The children laughed, but they knew exactly what to do. They visited the youngest children in the village, finding a baby peacefully napping in her crib. With a gentle yawn, the baby's sleepy breath worked like magic, stretching the dream net further, allowing it to grow more flexible and resilient. The final ingredient was the most magical of all: the power of a shared bedtime story. "A bedtime story," Pax said softly, "has the power to weave the most beautiful magic into the net, filling every thread with warmth and comfort." The children gathered together, sitting cross-legged on the soft grass as Pax told them a tale. His voice was calm and soothing as he spun a story of faraway lands, brave heroes, and endless adventure. As the story unfolded, the dream net glowed brighter, its threads weaving together, each one stronger and more radiant than before. The magic of the story filled the net, and it became not just a protector of dreams, but a symbol of the love and hope shared by everyone in the kingdom. With each child's help, the dream net was mended and strengthened. The tear had vanished, and in its place, the net sparkled with new energy, each thread now holding a story of its own. Pax stood, admiring the repaired net. It was stronger, more magical than ever before. He turned to the children, gratitude in his eyes. "You've all helped more than you know," he said softly. "Together, we've created something truly special. This net will keep your dreams safe for years to come." The children beamed with pride, knowing that they had played an important part in the kingdom's protection. With a wave of his hand, Pax sent the net into the air, where it sparkled and shimmered, ready to catch any nightmare that dared to approach. As the night sky enveloped the kingdom, Pax felt a deep sense of peace. The net was repaired, and the children were safe. And with the help of their magic, the dream net would always be strong enough to catch any nightmare, no matter how big or small. With the dream net repaired, it shimmered with renewed strength and magic, each thread now carrying a different, glowing story. The children beamed with pride, watching as their contributions, teddy bear hugs, baby yawns, and bedtime stories, had turned the net into something stronger and more magical than ever before. Pax, feeling a deep sense of gratitude, turned to the children with a smile. "You've done something truly incredible," he said, his voice soft and filled with appreciation. "This net will now protect the dreams of every child in the kingdom, and it's because of you that it's more powerful than ever." The children giggled, their faces glowing with happiness. They had no idea how important their help was, but to Pax, it meant everything. He knew that, together, they had created something truly magical. The night sky, once dark and quiet, was now filled with soft sparkles as the repaired dream net hovered gently above the village, its threads glowing in the moonlight. Pax stepped back and, with a wave of his hand, released the net into the sky. It floated upward, swirling gracefully around the kingdom, ready to catch any nightmares that might try to sneak through. The night air hummed with the soft magic of the net, and Pax watched as it shimmered, capturing the remaining nightmares. Each one turned into a sweet treat. Chocolate crunchies, cotton candy, and jelly beans fell gently from the sky, filling the air with a delightful sense of sweetness. The children, now a part of the dream net's magic, watched in awe as the once scary nightmares dissolved into harmless, delicious treats. The village below remained peaceful, unaware of the magical work taking place overhead. Every nightmare was caught, and every child was safe in their sleep. Pax felt a sense of relief wash over him as he watched the dream net glide through the night. He no longer needed to worry about the rip that had once threatened to ruin everything. The net was stronger than ever, and the children had played a crucial part in making it so. As the last of the nightmares were caught, the net floated back down toward the ground, its threads now sparkling with stories of strength, magic, and love. The kingdom was safe once again, and Pax knew that he had done his job well. The children's dreams would be peaceful, their nights sweet and undisturbed. As the children yawned and stretched, tired from their hard work, Pax smiled. "You've earned your rest. It's time for all of us to sleep, knowing the kingdom is safe." With that, the children made their way back to their homes, each one holding their beloved teddy bears and carrying the magic of the dream net with them. Pax, too, headed back to the castle, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment and peace. But before he retired for the night, Pax stood by the window of his room, gazing out at the kingdom below. The stars twinkled brightly in the sky, and the village below was bathed in the soft glow of the dream net's magic. Pax felt a deep connection to the land and the people he had sworn to protect. The work was never truly done, but tonight it felt like a victory. As he closed his eyes, ready to rest for the night, Pax whispered softly to himself, "Thank you, children. Sweet dreams." And with that, the kingdom drifted off into peaceful slumber, the dream net above, shimmering with the stories of its protectors, ready to guard their dreams for as long as needed. With the dream net fully repaired, it shimmered and sparkled in the night sky, now stronger and more magical than ever before. The children, standing in a circle around the net, watched in awe as it glowed with a soft golden light, reflecting their contributions. The strength of the teddy bears, the stretchiness of the baby's yawn, and the magic of their shared bedtime story. It was a moment of pure wonder, and Pax couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for the help the children had given him. "Look," he said softly, his voice filled with pride. "The net is stronger than ever. And it's because of all of you." The children beamed with pride, their hearts swelling with happiness. Pax gently released the net into the sky, and it floated upward, catching the last of the lingering nightmares. The net pulsed with a soft golden glow, and the nightmares that once threatened the peaceful kingdom were captured and transformed into sweet, delightful treats. As the monsters with glowing eyes dissolved into chocolate crunchies and the storm clouds turned into fluffy cotton candy, the children could hardly believe their eyes. Even the lost toys from the nightmares transformed into bright jelly bean trails, leading children back to the safety of their beds. The night air was filled with the sweet scent of the treats, and the village below remained completely unaware of the magic that had taken place overhead. Pax stood back, watching as the net worked its magic. The work of the night was nearly complete, and the kingdom was safe once again. The stars twinkled above, as if in approval, and Pax felt a deep sense of contentment. The children had helped him make the net stronger, and now they had ensured that no nightmare would ever escape. The children, tired from their hard work, began to yawn and stretch, their eyelids growing heavy. They had done their part, and now it was time to rest. Pax smiled warmly at them. "You've all been incredible," he said softly. "You've helped make this kingdom a place of peace and safety. Now it's time for you to sleep." The children nodded sleepily, their faces glowing with pride. They hugged their teddy bears tightly and made their way back to their homes, the soft glow of the dream net above them casting a protective light over the village. Pax watched them go, feeling a deep sense of peace. His work was far from over, but tonight it felt like a victory. As the last child disappeared into their home, Pax turned to face the castle. He was ready for rest. He walked slowly toward the castle, the cool night air gently brushing against his face. When he reached the entrance, he paused for a moment, looking back at the village. The dream net still shimmered brightly above, a symbol of the love and magic that protected the kingdom's dreams. Pax smiled to himself, knowing that tomorrow night he would continue his mission. But for now, he could rest easy, knowing that with the help of the children, the kingdom was safe. As Pax climbed into his bed and pulled the covers over him, he whispered softly to himself, "Sweet dreams, everyone." And with that, the kingdom settled into a peaceful slumber, the dream net above, shimmering and glowing, keeping watch over every child's dreams. As the night deepened, the kingdom rested soundly, wrapped in the warmth and magic of the dream net. The soft glow from the net illuminated the village below, casting a golden light over the rooftops and filling the streets with an ethereal calm. The scent of sweet treats, chocolate crunchies, cotton candy and jelly beans lingered in the air, as the last remnants of nightmares were transformed into the comforting foods that would never be eaten but simply cherished in the hearts of children. Inside the castle, Prince Pax sat by his window, looking out over the peaceful land. His heart was light, knowing that he had done everything he could to protect his kingdom's dreams. The children had helped him in ways he could never have imagined. Their love, warmth, and stories had restored the dream net, making it stronger and more magical than before. Pax smiled softly, his eyes drifting toward the soft glow of the net in the sky. It sparkled like a beacon, a reminder of the bond between the children and the magic that had woven the kingdom's safety. Pax thought of all the bedtime stories that had been told, of all the teddy bears that had offered their comforting hugs, and of the babies' yawns that had made the net stretch further, ready to protect the kingdom for many more nights. The magic of the dream net was not just in the threads of moonlight and starlight that wove it together, but in the hearts of the children who believed in it. They were the true protectors of the kingdom's dreams. And with their help, Pax knew that no nightmare would ever threaten the peaceful slumber of any child again. As Pax lay down in his bed, he closed his eyes, the soft glow of the dream net visible through his window. He thought of the children and the sweet dreams they would have, knowing that the net would catch whatever nightmares tried to slip by. And just before sleep took him, he whispered to himself, "Sweet dreams, everyone." And with that, the kingdom slept, safe and sound, the dream net shimmering above them, ever vigilant, ever protective, and filled with the stories of love, magic, and sweet dreams. The night stretched on, quiet and peaceful, as the dream net continued its magical work, shimmering gently above the kingdom. The children, tucked safely into their beds, dreamed sweet dreams, their faces glowing with contentment as the net's protective threads ensured no nightmare would disturb their rest. Pax, too, rested easily, knowing the dream net was strong and full of magic, woven together by the children's love and kindness. As dawn began to break over the horizon, the first light of day crept over the kingdom. The dream net, though still glowing faintly, had done its job. The nightmares that had tried to creep in were now nothing more than sweet memories turned into treats. Pax woke with the sun, his heart light, knowing that another peaceful night awaited the kingdom ahead. The kingdom stirred as the villagers began to wake, and though none of them knew of the magic that had kept their dreams safe, they carried with them a sense of peace, a gentle knowledge that their nights would always be filled with sweetness. The children awoke with smiles, their teddy bears beside them, and though they didn't fully understand it, they felt the comfort of the dream net wrapped around them in their dreams. Pax stood at the castle window, gazing out over the peaceful land. The night had been quiet, and now the kingdom basked in the soft light of the morning sun. The dream net, still shimmering in the distance, was a reminder of the strength that came from love, shared stories, and simple acts of kindness. He knew that the net would be there, night after night, catching any nightmares that tried to slip through. But more than that, Pax knew that the net wasn't just magic. It was a symbol of the bond between him, the children, and the kingdom. It wasn't just about catching bad dreams. It was about ensuring that every child could sleep soundly, knowing that they were protected by the love and magic woven into the very fabric of their dreams. As Pax turned to begin his day, he could hear the soft laughter of children playing outside. They were free to run, explore, and dream, and they would always have a peaceful night to look forward to. Pax smiled, knowing that, with the dream net by his side and the hearts of the children to guide it, no nightmare would ever threaten the kingdom again. The day was bright, and the kingdom was safe. Pax, knowing the work was never truly finished, felt a deep sense of fulfillment as he prepared for the next night's adventure. He had made the world a little bit sweeter, one dream at a time. The following evening, as the sun set and the kingdom began to quiet down, Prince Pax prepared for his nightly patrol. With the dream net stronger than ever, and the children's magic woven into its very threads, Pax felt a sense of calm unlike any other. He knew that no matter what dreams the night would bring, the kingdom would sleep soundly, protected by the love and magic shared by the children. As the evening air began to cool, Pax ventured into the village. The sky was clear and the stars shone bright, as though they were part of the dream net itself, twinkling in harmony. Pax walked the cobblestone streets, his dream net gently glowing, leading the way. He passed by houses where the children slept, unaware of the magical work that protected their dreams. The streets were peaceful, and the scent of sweets, chocolate crunchies, cotton candy and jelly beans, lingered in the cool air, a reminder of the magic at work. Pax smiled to himself, knowing that his work was not only to capture nightmares but to transform them into something beautiful, something that would ensure the children's dreams were always sweet. As he continued through the village, he looked up at the dream net, which shimmered above, radiating warmth and protection. The net had become more than just a magical tool. It had become a symbol of hope, of love, and of community. It reminded him of the importance of sharing and working together. Pax had always known that the power of the dream net lay not only in its magical threads but also in the hearts of the people who helped create it. But tonight, Pax had a new sense of purpose. He no longer felt as though he was the only one keeping watch over the kingdom's dreams. He knew that with the children by his side, their contributions woven into the very fabric of the net, they were all protectors of peaceful slumber. The dream net wasn't just a tool. It was the result of a collective effort, one built on kindness, courage, and a little bit of magic. As Pax stood in the center of the village, he couldn't help but feel proud. His kingdom was safe, his people were protected, and the children were the true heroes. They had turned their nightmares into something beautiful and sweet, and in doing so, they had strengthened the magic that kept the kingdom's dreams peaceful. The night went on, quiet and peaceful. Pax continued his rounds, checking the dream net, ensuring it remained strong and steady. With each passing moment, he knew that his mission was more than just about protecting dreams. It was about protecting the magic that lived in the hearts of the children. And with that, Pax could rest easy, knowing that tomorrow night, the dream net would be ready to catch whatever nightmares might try to sneak through, turning them into treats, and ensuring that every child would wake up with a smile. As the days passed, the kingdom continued to thrive under the protective glow of the dream net. The children, though they didn't fully understand the magic behind it, felt a deep sense of safety. They went about their days playing, laughing, and dreaming, always knowing that Prince Pax and the dream net were there to keep their nights peaceful. Pax, for his part, felt a renewed sense of purpose. Each evening, as he walked the quiet streets of the village, he was filled with gratitude for the children who had helped repair the dream net. He knew that it was their kindness, their love, and their willingness to share their bedtime stories and teddy bears that had made the net stronger. He was no longer the only guardian of dreams. He was part of a community, united by a common goal to keep the kingdom's dreams safe. One evening, as Pax walked through the village, he saw something that made his heart swell with pride. The children had gathered in a circle at the village square, each of them holding their teddy bears. They were telling stories to one another, their voices full of excitement and joy. Pax paused to watch, marveling at how the magic of the dream net had inspired them. It was as though they had become the true protectors of dreams, just as the net had once protected them. As the children finished their stories, they stood and looked up at the sky. The dream net, as always, was glowing softly above, casting its protective light over the kingdom. The children waved at it, smiling, as though they knew it was watching over them. Pax approached them, his heart light. "It looks like you're all taking care of the kingdom's dreams," he said. his voice filled with pride. The children beamed up at him. "We learned from the best," said one of them, a young girl with a bright smile. "And we promise to help you every night." Pax's eyes softened. "You've already helped more than you know," he said, kneeling down to their level. "Your kindness, your stories, and your love for each other have made the dream net stronger than ever. You are the true heroes of the kingdom's dreams." The children hugged their teddy bears tighter, feeling the warmth of Pax's words. It was a simple moment, but it was one that held a deeper magic, the magic of community, love, and shared responsibility. As the night fell, the dream net continued to glow above, its threads shimmering with the power of the stories the children had shared. The kingdom below rested easy, knowing that the dream net was more than just a magical tool. It was a symbol of the bond between them all, the protection of their dreams, and the power of their shared kindness. Pax stood for a moment longer, watching as the children returned to their homes, each of them holding their beloved teddy bears. He smiled, knowing that the dream net would always be there, protecting the kingdom's dreams, but also knowing that it was the hearts of the children, their love and magic, that truly made it all work. As the moon rose high in the sky and the last light of the evening faded, Pax whispered to himself, "Thank you, children. Sweet dreams, everyone." With that, he made his way back to the castle, his heart full of peace, knowing that the kingdom was safe for another night. As the weeks passed, the bond between the children, Pax, and the dream net grew even stronger. Every night, the kingdom slept soundly under the net's protective glow, and every morning, the children awoke refreshed, with their dreams filled with adventure, joy, and sweetness. The nightmares that once haunted them were now nothing more than distant memories, turned into sweet treats by the dream net. Prince Pax, once the sole guardian of the kingdom's dreams, had come to realize that he was never truly alone in his mission. The children, with their love, their bedtime stories, and their magical contributions, had become just as important as the dream net itself. Together, they had formed an unbreakable circle of protection, ensuring that the kingdom would never have to fear nightmares again. One evening, as Pax wandered through the village after sunset, he was struck by a profound sense of peace. The dream net glowed softly above, casting its golden light over the village, and the homes below were peaceful and calm. The children, playing in the square, were laughing and sharing stories, their voices full of happiness. Pax stopped for a moment, watching them with a gentle smile. He couldn't help but feel proud. The children had become the true protectors of their dreams, and Pax had realized that the strength of the dream net lay not just in its magic, but in the hearts of the people who believed in it. As he continued his walk, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that every child was safe under the net's protection. Later that evening, as the kingdom settled into peaceful slumber, Pax stood at the castle window, gazing out over the village. The dream net shimmered gently above, its golden threads woven together with the stories of love, courage, and kindness. It was a magical creation, born from the hearts of the children, and it would always be there, catching any nightmare that dared to creep through the night. Pax closed his eyes and whispered softly, "Sweet dreams, everyone." He knew that the kingdom's dreams were in safe hands, and that no matter what the future held, the dream net would continue to protect them, night after night, as it always had. And so, the kingdom slept safe and sound under the watchful eyes of the dream net. Pax, with the children by his side, had created something truly magical, a legacy of love, protection, and sweet dreams that would endure for generations to come.